Oh no. Music Club 017. Ugh, go away. So I was going to have a week off this week. Sorry if you need a wee after this, it's because the pond is making a lot of noise. As the pressure of doing these every single week kind of got to me, and discovering new music became a bit of a chore, and that's never what I wanted it to do. You know, this was always a platform for me to share things that I enjoyed rather than kind of irritating me. However, just as I said I was going to have a week off, 3 new songs came across my path, and I just kind of naturally started writing about them. So it's Friday, it's sunny outside. That can only mean one thing: Music Club. Usually in this part of the show we'll talk about the different types of tracks and artists that remind me of this band or act, as most of the time I share new music and kind of new acts. However, on this occasion I think it's important to talk about the significance of the Prodigy and their influence on the music industry. I think I can associate a vast majority of my music taste down to the work of the Prodigy. Bands like Chase and Status, Justice, Pendulum, Does It Offend You? Yeah. I bet you forgot about them. In fact, I think you can put almost the entirety of the EDM and bass genre down on the shoulders of the Prodigy. I've been a fan of theirs since I was a little boy, watching Keith Flint dance around an abandoned underground train station with a Star Spangled Banner t-shirt on.
On the beach you hated, filth infatuated.
Fat of the Land was one of the first of its kind to break into the mainstream. In fact, the press release reads as follows. In the mid-90s, American audiences weren't necessarily sold on electronic music. That was before Fat of the Land. After all, here was an album that made sense. It had the swagger of a hip-hop, the music of a rock and roll, and the kinetic energy of a skate video, and simps that might as well have come from outer space. It didn't hurt that Keith Flint and Maxim Reality's dripped, sneering vocals over most of the album's cuts, giving listeners plenty to shout along to. The next album wouldn't follow for another 7 years. With a much more current and contemporary sound to dance music, it left fans wanting more, and it definitely missed out on the input of Keith and Maxim. However, songs like Girls, Spitfire, and You'll Be Under My Wheels would definitely go on to be some of the most influential. The answer to Always Outnumbered came to us in 2009, a time that in my personal life I'd just discovered raving, drum and bass was breaking into the mainstream, and dubstep was just in the process of taking over the world. Invaders Must Die seemed to be the driving force to push these scenes with its aggressive sound, and seemed to have a good balance for new and old fans. Records like Omen and Warriors Dance feature in different remixed incarnations in raves up and down the country. I think that The Day Is My Enemy may have come out 2 or 3 years too late. By that point, Brostep had made everyone sick of this sound, making everyone's attention turn to something way more minimal, which is why tech and deep house has been so popular over the last 5 years. Regardless, it seems like they've been in the studio trialing something new and playing it live. It seems to work really well, so they've ended up releasing this, and it's fucking brilliant. This is Need Someone by the Prodigy. Every so often I find myself driving on a Sunday and Saturday afternoon, radio on loud, dance anthems with Mr. Jam. Most of the records you hear tend to be a bit of a nostalgic throwaway. However, this week he seemed to play a record that must have hit me subconsciously, because I woke up on Sunday morning with it stuck in my head. Headed straight to Mr. Jam's track listing page to find out what it was, and I've been obsessed ever since. This record, it's almost a paint-by-numbers Ibiza house classic, but that doesn't make me like it any less. It samples the wonderful It Ain't Easy by Honeycomb, formerly released in 1970. It reminds me of some of those classic Ibiza records that upcycle old records to give them new life. Tracks like Roger Sanchez's Another Love, Duck Sauce's Anyway, Shot You Down by the Audio Bullies, or In My Arms by Milo. I definitely just wanted an excuse to put Milo in a playlist. Regardless, it's been a record that's been on heavy rotation for me for the last few weeks, and it's one that I haven't been able to stop listening to. This is Sometimes the Going Gets a Little Tough by Finn. Now it's time to step away from the sunny shores of Spain and onto the sunny beaches of Los Angeles. Brockhampton actually formed in Texas in 2015 after they met on a Kanye West forum. I do find it incredibly impressive that 13 people can think creatively and work together in the same direction. I first came across them last year with their record Star,
I'ma go in a Stella. I feel like Matthew McConaughey.
which just sounded so different from anything else that was popular last year, and they remind me of the time when I first discovered Odd Future Wolfgang. The hip-hop world isn't shy to rap crews. Acts like NWA, Wu-Tang,
Holocaust from the land of the Lord.
D12,
Hills, hop 2 hills, one still so warm.
Odd Future,
Knock knock, who's there? It's me, your girlfriend. Had a really nice meeting with my dick.
shaped the scene at different times. Last year they released 3 records, culminating in what is their debut album, but it's not their debut album. It was similar to how The Weeknd first came onto the scene, or what The Neighbourhood did last year with their EPs. Anyway, this year they're working on a full studio debut in which this track is taken from. Takes the playfulness of tracks like Gravel Pit, Purple Pills and Rella and kind of adds to it. It's got a really goofy, bouncy, wobbly sound, and I cannot wait to see them at Reading this year. This is 1998 Truman by Brockhampton. So that's it this week. It's a really... there's birds flying everywhere. That's it this week. It's a really quick one for me. Crazy busy weekend, and I'm also working really hard on some other videos, so watch this space. If you're one of the 6 people that watch this video, thank you. I really appreciate it. Regardless, I will see you maybe next week. I don't know. It's getting hard. Too many videos.